You know what the biggest mistake I see guys making is? They think the harder they chase, the more attractive they become. But here's the brutal truth nobody wants to tell you. The moment you start chasing is the exact moment you lose all your power in dating. And today I'm going to show you 3 psychological reasons why chasing women is sabotaging your love life and what to do instead to become magnetically attractive. Before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how the guys who seem effortless with women never appear to be trying too hard? There's actually science behind this, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why your current approach might be pushing away the very women you want to attract. The first reason you should never chase women comes down to basic human psychology and something called the scarcity principle. When you chase someone, you're essentially communicating that you have nothing better to do with your time and energy. Think about it this way. If someone is constantly available, always texting back immediately, and dropping everything to spend time with you, what message does that send about their value? Here's what happens in her mind when you chase. She starts to wonder why you're so available all the time. If you were truly a high-value person with an interesting life, wouldn't you have other priorities, goals, and commitments? When you make her your #1 priority, before she's even shown that she deserves that position, you're communicating low self-worth. I learned this lesson the hard way early in my dating life. There was this woman I was absolutely convinced was perfect for me. I would text her good morning every day, always be the first to initiate conversations, and completely rearrange my schedule whenever she had free time. I thought I was being romantic and showing her how much I cared. Instead, I was showing her how desperate and needy I was. The psychology here is fascinating. Humans naturally assign value based on effort required to obtain something. This isn't just true in dating, it applies to everything in life. Why do you think luxury brands are expensive? Why do exclusive clubs have waiting lists? Because scarcity and difficulty of access create perceived value. When you chase, you eliminate all scarcity. You become like a store that's always having a clearance sale. Sure, people might browse, but they don't feel any urgency to buy because they know you'll always be there with the same desperate energy. The alternative approach is to become genuinely scarce. This doesn't mean playing games or being manipulative. It means actually building a life so interesting and fulfilling that you don't have unlimited time to chase anyone. When you're genuinely busy pursuing your goals, hobbies, and friendships, your time becomes valuable. And valuable things are naturally more attractive. The second reason chasing backfires is that it completely destroys the natural dynamic of attraction. Attraction isn't logical, it's emotional. And emotions are created through tension and uncertainty, not through predictable pursuit. Think about the most exciting movies you've ever watched. They weren't exciting because everything was predictable and safe. They were exciting because you didn't know what would happen next. The same principle applies to romantic attraction. When you chase, you remove all mystery and unpredictability from the interaction. Women, just like men, are attracted to people who challenge them emotionally. This doesn't mean being mean or playing manipulative games. It means maintaining your own opinions, having your own life, and not being afraid to disagree or walk away if someone isn't treating you well. I remember talking to a female friend about this topic, and she explained it perfectly. She said when a guy chases her, it feels like he's already decided she's amazing before getting to know her. This makes his attraction feel shallow and based purely on her appearance or some fantasy version of her in his head. But when a guy seems genuinely interested, yet still has standards and boundaries, she feels like she has to earn his attraction through her personality and character. This creates what psychologists call intermittent reinforcement. Instead of constant validation and attention, she gets it sometimes, but not others. This inconsistency actually makes the positive interactions more powerful and memorable. It's the same reason gambling can be addictive, even though people lose more than they win. Now, I want to be crystal clear about something. I'm not advocating for playing hard to get or being deliberately confusing. What I'm talking about is genuine self-respect and having standards. When you know your worth and aren't willing to accept poor treatment, you naturally create this attractive dynamic without any manipulation. The third reason chasing fails is perhaps the most important. It prevents authentic connection. When you're focused on winning someone over, you're not focused on actually getting to know them and determining if they're right for you. You become a performer instead of a genuine person. Real connection happens between two people who are both evaluating each other. It's mutual. When you chase, you take yourself out of the evaluation process and put all the power in her hands. You're essentially saying, I've already decided you're perfect, Now please decide if I'm worthy of your attention. This creates an unhealthy power dynamic that rarely leads to satisfying relationships. Even if chasing occasionally works and you end up in a relationship, you've set a precedent where your needs and standards don't matter. You've positioned yourself as the person who gives while she decides whether to receive. I've seen this pattern destroy so many relationships. Guys will chase a woman into a relationship, then wonder why she doesn't respect them or appreciate their efforts. The truth is, they taught her not to respect them from day one by showing that her interest was more important than their own self-worth. Instead of chasing, focus on genuine compatibility. Ask yourself hard questions about whether this person actually adds value to your life. Are they kind to you? Do they make an effort? Do you enjoy their company beyond physical attraction? Are your values aligned? When you approach dating from this mindset, something magical happens. You stop trying to convince people to like you and start evaluating whether you like them. This shift in perspective is incredibly attractive because it shows confidence and self-respect. So what should you do instead of chasing? First, develop a life you're genuinely excited about. Pursue hobbies, build friendships, advance your career, and work on personal growth. When your life is full and interesting, you won't have time or energy to chase people who aren't enthusiastically interested in you. Second, learn to recognize and respond to genuine interest. When someone is attracted to you, they'll make it relatively easy for you to spend time with them. They'll respond to your messages, make themselves available, and show curiosity about your life. If you're having to convince someone to give you basic respect and attention, that's not attraction, that's charity. Third, practice walking away from situations that don't serve you. This might be the most difficult skill to develop, but it's also the most powerful. When you're truly willing to walk away from someone who isn't treating you well, you communicate higher value than any amount of chasing ever could. Remember, the goal isn't to trick people into liking you. The goal is to become the kind of person that naturally attracts healthy, interested partners. This happens through self-improvement, not through manipulation or desperate pursuit. The most attractive thing you can be is someone who has options and chooses wisely, not someone who has no options and accepts anything. When you stop chasing and start becoming, you'll notice a dramatic shift in the quality of people who are drawn to you. If this video helped you understand why chasing is sabotaging your dating life, make sure to subscribe for more content on building genuine confidence and attraction. And remember, the person meant for you won't need to be chased. They'll be running toward you just as fast as you're running toward them. That's what real connection looks like.